Micheal Turyakira. I hope I've pronounced the name perfectly.
Yeah, perfect.
Turyakira.
Meaning? We shall be okay, we shall be healed. If we are sick, if we are poor, we shall be rich in future. So it's a prophetic name.
I like the way the Western people name their children.
Yeah.
The names are a bit prophetic.
They are a bit prophetic, so they speak in the future. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Winnie.
Say hello to our viewers.
Hello, viewers. I'm very grateful to be here, and I would like to say that you are so much welcome to Besanet TV, and I want to say thank you very much also for watching Besanet TV. I'm here with Winnie, and we are here for a show.
Amen.
Stay tuned. Thank you.
Amen. Looks like you have a lot of English, and yet for us here we have a lot of Luganda. Kale tujja kuba tukugamba mu Luganda nga bw'otodda mu lulimi lw'otegeera.
Kale.
Okay. So Gwani Turyakira. We have now known your name. Nitwagala okumanya Gwani mukola biki.
Nina company bagita Israel Osotics Limited. Kati Osotics kitegeeza ebintu ebikuyamba ku magumba nga ni braces bobera ngo oyina bulumi wano wale kibayita ni brace. Kati ni brace ojambala ne kwata wano ku mabibi bulungi kati kwegamba towulira bulumi ngo bobera ngo otambula. Kati tulina neza zino corset ojambala ngo oyina obulumi mu mugongo. Lambasacrobate bagita lambasacrobate mu luzungu. Kati yamba one back pain bobera ne back pain ojamba ne kuyamba bulungi. Tulina na medical compression stockings zineziyamba crot bobera ngo otura nnyo omusayi gulema kutambula kati nosanga nofuna crot once one. Kati oyambala yo medical compression stocking ne kuyamba omusayi kutambula waggulu.
Okay.
Yeah, abala bazita DVT stockings mu luzungu. Kati they are medical compression stockings zibeera ndungi nnyo kati omulwadde wabeera ku kitanda abajeetaaga. Abantu abatuula nnyo baba bajeetaaga bana babeera ne long flights oba olina journey from here to Arua oba olina kujambala kwegamba omusayi gubeera gutambula
kati newemba sirina kinnuma naye nga ngenda kutambula nino njambala
ng'ogenda kutuula nnyo for long hours oba olina jambala ziyamba nnyo kati ndiirenga mu bintu ng'ebyo kati kampani bagiyita Israel Osotics Limited. Tubeera Discover Plaza, William Street.
Kati odiringa mbidiringe tewabisoma?
Of course, nina medical background. Mukyala wange ali physiotherapist. Nawe bikozesa sinikira ba clients. Kati nange kubanga nina medical background, ningamba kantandike company. Tubeera nga tukola wamu.
Kati Turyakira bakuzaalawo?
Banzaalira Kabale. Kabale ndio Mukiga naye abazadde bange basenguka ne bagenda Masindi. Kati nagenda Masindi nga ndi mu P2 primary 2 kati ninsomera eyo up to senior 6 ninvayo ningenda Mulago Paramedical School.
Okay.
Kati ninsoma Mulago Paramedical School 3 years ninkola course ya Vector Control Officer Medical Entomology and Parasitology ninjimara ninkola kati nimara ningenda mbya business ninsoma degree.
Biye biki ebyo byewasoma?
Bya entomology.
Tetubitegeera ffe.
Bya entomology mwawulako obulwadde buno babuyita bilharzia oba mu Luganda babuyita biki?
Simanyi nange manyi
bilharzia waliwo bino bya elephantiasis nosanga omuntu alina bigere nga bizimbe nnyo.
Ndoza enjovu.
Elephantiasis waliwo na bino birwadde babiyita oconsaciasis liver blindness. Kati ebyo bitwasoma ebyo waliwo na malaria kati malaria batuwanga mosquitoes ne bagamba dissect it under dissecting microscope orabe oba ina sporozoites because sporozoites are responsible for causing malaria kati ebyo byonna twabisoma
nga mwasoma ebintu bizibu nnyo mwayita twayita naye practical nga ziri nzibu ne bagamba ijjako wing ye mosquito mounting kati bw'oyisa nnyo kati the air nesuula wing kati experiment toina specimen nofuna 0 instead of 20 max. Otyo kati wasomera Kabale Masindi
eyo course nagisomera wano Mulago.
No, your primary.
Yeah, my primary nagisomera Masindi mu Lunyoro kati n'Olunyoro ndumanyi bulungi.
Je wafuna n'omukyala?
Omukyala namufuna wano Mulago.
Wano Mulago.
Ava Kanungu.
Okay. So how was your childhood? Why did your parents have to go from Kabale to Masindi?
My father is a forester. He did the forestry in Makerere University. So when he finished, he had no job. Of course, he didn't find a job around. So he happened to get a friend who connected him to go to Masindi. So in Masindi, it was a private organization. So they took him to be a manager. So by then, he used to earn, an employee, a graduate used to earn like 20,000, Mr. Satu. But when he reached there, they put him on 90,000, 100,000, up to 500,000. So he saw it as a very big opportunity. So netugenda for when we were young, and we grew up from there. And because in Kabale, the place is very cold. So when we reached in Masindi, we found the climate was very friendly. So tusigalira ddala netugamba twagala Kabale
kati mpabazaala baana bameka?
tuli baana 6.
Gw'oli wakumeka?
Ndi wakubiri.
Kati mwenna
tulina abawala 2 abalenzi 4.
Kati mwenna mwagenda ne maama mwenna ne mugenda?
Twenna.
Temwaddayo Kabale? Kati ettaka lye mwalinayo mwalikola muti?
Weliri twateekamu emiti.
Kati Masindi nayo mwagulayo ettaka?
Twagulayo, twazimba, tulinayo mu tawuni, tulinayo no mu kyalo retirement home. Kati tuli Banyoro.
Okay. So how was life as a child, a second child, a boy growing up? Obulamu bwali butya?
Growing up, excuse me. Growing up, I would say it was good. Of course, when my father used to be a manager, life was good by then. Everything would find us in the house. They bring bread in the house, in the fridge, and pack it. We had people who used to work for us. But time came, my dad lost a job. And when he lost that job, life turned around. It turned around and life became so hard. We started struggling, looking for school fees. We would be chased outside classroom. And then we would feel very humiliated. Life wasn't good at all. At one time, even we'd fail to get what to eat. You know this brown posho, which is our 3rd grade. Even getting that was a problem at that time.
The one they used to make as porridge?
Yes. It was also hard, but my mother was very creative. She would go out to get dodo, make sauce, then prepare with posho. That portion we eat. And
so was mom working?
No, she was just a housewife, I can say. So it was only my dad would go out, try to look for what to eat, but my mom was just barely a housewife, taking care of us.
Okay. So how long did you go through? For how long did this
I would say it took us actually up to the end of senior 6. We were moving like that, struggling.
Which class were you by the time your dad lost a job?
Lost a job? We're in senior 2.
Kati okuva mu senior 2 paka that is 4 years.
Yeah, that's 4 years, and most of us were actually going to secondary. So it became so huge for him to manage, because when you're in secondary, you pay a lot of money, so it was very tough for him. Yeah, at one time he told me that if I don't run mad during this situation, then I will never be mad.
Your dad?
That's what he told me.
Oh my God.
I would feel hard for him.
Kati mwamaliriza muvuddeyo masomero gali ge mwasomerangamu olwokuba sente tewaali bamwasigalayo?
Twasigalayo naye nga manuvalinga, struggling, but of course some of my siblings nebagenda mu some of these law schools, which are not really good to standard.
Kati gwomalako otya obulamu mu secondary nga sente tewaali?
Obulamu?
Like wasobola otya? How did you overcome?
Actually, how I overcame, I tried to befriend the teachers, like their teachers, the headmaster. There's one time we were chased out, and then I went to the headmaster, I talked to him, I told him, look, my dad is like this, is passing through this, and I would love to finish. And of course, also what helped me, I stood to be a health prefect. So I had that higher advantage.
You were a health prefect?
Health prefect, and then I was also known in the church circles as the scripture union chairperson. So whenever...
So you were the good boy in the school?
Yes. So whenever I would go to the headmaster and plead, he would actually try to give us some more period of grace. Of course, including also my siblings. So that is how we managed to maneuver like that. Eventually we finished. Of course, in secondary, there are some challenges we got. Like when I was in senior 2, there's some group of people who were learning how to bounce, and I would feel admired to them because of the way they were walking, trying to make one leg shorter than the other. So I would make sure after every prep, in the evening after revision, I joined them, and then they begin training me, moving around the dorm.
How to bounce.
How to bounce. But that is the time when I accepted Christ as my personal savior, and so I had to get out of that group.
Okay.
So also another group would tell me, Mike, now you are 16 years, why don't you go out and get a girlfriend? Actually, I've been thinking, when I was writing this book, I was thinking loudly, trying to think, by 16 years, 16 years, do you understand anything? Because even our law says when you're 18 is when you're mature. So 16 years, what would I be doing? But thanks be to God that I had known him, and then I also left that group. So those are some of the challenges, and it was a single boys school, so we had a lot of challenges.
So you completing Form 6 now, ate nga bazadde bo tebalina ssente, kati wasobola otya okugenda okusoma that course, because it must have been expensive.
Yeah, it was.
Kati wasobola otya okugikola course, wafunayo akalimu awo n'okuba ekyeyo nga bweweerera kampasi?
Kati kati after the VAC, naye awo ningamba kangende Kampala waliyo anko wange. Kati anko wange ngali chaplain Mulago, mu church ye Mulago, nga manyi abasomesa be Mulago paramedical school. Kati nimubuulira nimugamba nga nyagala course wano naye simanyi kyakora, nagamba prepare yourself so that tomorrow we go and meet the principal. Nitugenda nitulaba principal nangamba wakola otya mu senior 4. Senior 4 had performed very well, and that course I see they wanted the senior 4 results. So when he looked into my senior 4 results, he advised me to wait. Actually, he gave me that course, medical entomology and parasitology, and says this will be fit for you from the way you did your biology and chemistry. But he told me interviews will be done in Hoima, since you come from Masindi, on such and such a date, please don't miss out. So I went back to Masindi, of course, kept helping my parents, because when my dad lost a job, he started nursery beds raising these young seedlings of trees. So I would help him out there on those nursery beds as I was helping, waiting for the date. So when the date reached, I went to Hoima, I found a queue of people wrong. I went on Monday, I did the interview on Wednesday. So luckily enough, or fortunately, people who had applied for that same course were only 3 of us. And so when I entered, the interviewer said, I think since you're only 3, all of you will go in government. I got hope.
That's how you got government?
That's how I got government. And so when I came to paramedical school, I would only pay 30,000 for maybe some few maintenance of the school and what, and we were given sugar, what. So life became good. Yeah, life became good.
Okay. So how many years did it take you to complete that course?
3 years.
Okay.
That was 2007 to 2010.
So after that, did you go for another course? Maybe
no, I had.
That's all you did?
Yeah. I had.
So now, ebiseera ebisinga abaana naddala abavubuka nga bali campus baba balinda kimu olunaku olwo lwe bagenda obbatikkira ayambale ekyambalo ekyo akende ku makya akwate transcript ye agende ku street bamuwa omulimu. What was running in your head on the day you graduated, for example? What was your expectation at the end of the day?
On the day of my graduation, I expected to get, of course, a good job, an entomology job, like being a district vector control officer. So after I graduated, ningenda Masindi to go and visit the district entomologist officer's office. I reached there and nyogera naye ne mugamba maze kosi, I would like at least to volunteer. Mberanga nkola nawe as I learn the skills and what, then eventually you can make me what? A permanent employee. Then the man told me, yeah, you try to come back next week and we talk. I came back next week, I found he wasn't there, nimukubire simu nagamba ndi Kampala. But after calling him, as I was in Masindi town, I saw him again on border in Masindi. Kampala. So I realized he was now playing around with me. He didn't want to tell me no, and so he kept me around like that. So when I discussed with my parents, nibangamba, you know what? Just leave that man. Kata oningamba kangende Kampala ndumbe street.
Oze Kampala mu bagezi.
Ninza one Kampala, ningamba now, what am I going to do? Where would I be staying? How would I be accommodated? Kati ninjukira, I had a friend here who was married and they used to stay in Mengo, near Mengo, na Mirembe Church. Kati ningamba, let me first call them before I set off to Kampala. So when I called them and narrated to them, explained to them, they said, yeah, we are willing to accommodate you, come. Why? Why did I consider them? Because very company town, kati ningamba, I can walk, ntambure nje Kampala, nzireyo nga ntambura kwanga sina za transport. So I would commit from Mengo to Kampala, from Mengo to Kampala, to come and look for a job. So when I came to town, I saw these Indians had many pharmacies here. I said, by the way, can't I get something here? Because what I need is money.
It's a job.
A job. I need something to survive. I can't now ask my dad, give me this. So I
kati okuze oli musajja
nkuze kati ningenda buri pharmacy nga I'm talking with them mbabuza nibagamba we don't have a job, we don't have anything. Kati waliwo pharmacy one opposite City Square nga bagiyita Z pharmacy ninyingirayo nimbagamba I want anything to do. I didn't tell them I'm educated.
Yes.
Me, I told them I want anything to do. So they told me, you can maybe clean and carry boxes for us, maybe for customer to the car. What? I said I will do it. Hey. So I pretended as if I'm not educated. So Nibagamba, tomorrow come. So I came. They said, go and wash the toilets. I went and washed, mopped. Then they said,
you serious?
Then they told me, dust the drugs.
Olonga bakubulidde sente zogenda okukolera.
Mitwaro mwenda per month. Mitwaro mwenda per month and 2,000 daily allowance.
What?
Medical personnel. But what I want to tell you out there, when you are done with a course or you're a graduate, don't despise anything. Don't despise any small job. Start with that. As long as you can get something to put in the stomach. Start. Katinintandika, dusting the medicine, what? There's one scenario which happened. I had finished eating my food lunch and they asked me to go and carry a carton of kabuti. What was kabuti syrup? Made of glass. Ingezito wanyo. Nibagamba jigendo jije mu basement ojirete one first floor. Nagenda yo ninji sitrawent ninjirete waguru. Cut it was too heavy because it was too heavy. I reached up when I was hungry. Yet I had just finished eating. So when I did that for quite some time, I developed chest pain. I remember calling my dad, asking him, I've gotten chest pain because of the nature of work I'm doing. And he told me, persevere. Now where will you run? I persevered. I worked there for 4 months. 4 months. So there is a lady there in that pharmacy who used to work at the counter. She used to earn 300,000. Nambuza, how much do you earn? Because they knew I'm not educated. I told them 90,000. Then she told me, oh, sorry, I will be buying you from today fish and tea in the morning. So save you 90,000. I became so happy and should food lunch.
So you could eat fish and...
But I didn't know she had a string attached. She wanted now me in future. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
She was investing.
Yeah, she was investing. So after some time, a friend of mine told me there is someone, they need a medical representative in Novik Pharmacy, Novik here, Bombo Road. So just take application. I struggled. I said, no, let me write and take it there. I wrote and took it there. The following day, I got a call from Novik asking me to go there for an interview. Because of the nature of the work I used to do, I used to put on t-shirt and sandals because you can't put on well when you're going to carry cartons from work.
I know.
So I had the t-shirt, then sandals, sweating, but I went to see the boss in Novik. Reaching there, the boss asked me, are you educated, you man? I said, yes, I'm educated. These are my papers. But why do you look like this? I said, the nature of the work I'm doing. You mean you do such a work when you're educated like this? I said, yes. So the following day he came to prove whether I'm talking the truth. He found me dusting, mopping,
in your cartons.
Then he told me, if you can do such a work, yet you're educated, and you can humble yourself to zero, you're a right person I should work with. He took me because of that. He took me because of that, and I used to earn 90,000. He put me at 300 now, 380, and there around so 12,000 per day. Then they put the attires changed. I started putting on now ties because now I would go meet doctors, market the antihypertensive drugs and the diabetics drugs. So life changed from that time.
So what happened to the investor?
The investor
who used to invest fish and tea.
Now that is where the problem came. Now the investor called me and asked me, Mike, where did you go? I said, I got a job. He said, hey, so you have been eating my fish and you just disappeared like that? Then she told me she would wait for me from one day and stone me.
Are you for real? How much had she invested in? Because now you worked for only 4 months.
It was little man, I think if you are to accumulate and add up, might be 200,000.
You could have just paid it off and, put a stop to everything. But I love that bit of bakuyitidde omulimu n'ogamba nti nja gukolera. They gave you whatever was available, you accepted to do. Abantu abamu naddala abavubuka banyooma emirimu. Ye kasita bamala okumutikkira yakola tugeze accounting, anoonya mulimu ogwo. Kasita wajjayo ekintu kyonna ekiri less tasobola kukikola. Naye ndowooza tulina ekyokuyiga kye tuyiga. I'm sure our viewers are learning so much, especially the young people. Nti bw'oba omaze okusoma kirungi osomye, naye ate kirungi okukkiriza omukisa gwo ogubaguzze n'okola. Because if you had stayed home actually, maybe this opportunity wouldn't have come. So you have to be out there.
You have to hit the street and be out.
You do whatever it is, whatever small the job could be, you need to do it, and the big one will find you there. Wow, very interesting. Tugenda mukuumulamu ate tugenda kuba tukomawo ne emboozi ya Michael. Nendoza gwe muvubuka ali oyo owulidde Mike atuwulidde emboozi ye bwe yamala okusoma. Obulamu tebwali bwangu ng'omuvubuka nga taata amaze okufiirwa omulimu. Ekyomukisa omulungi n'asobola okuba ng'agenda n'akola some medical course, naye ate bwe yamala okusoma omulimu tegwalabika. Atugambye yatambulanga ku street ng'anoonya emirimu okutuusa bwe yatuuka ku pharmacy emu n'abagamba nze kyonna ekiriwo nja kukikola. Yamugamba nti osobola osiimuula ko ye nti ye. Era omulimu olunaku olwasooka ku mulimu gwe atugambye nti bamugamba ogenda kwoza ttooyi. Naye omusajja yasoma ebyobulamu oyo gwolaba teyagaana, n'agenda n'ayoza ttooyi n'asiimulanga. Kakati lumu ate ne wabeerawo walala we bamusaba agenda ateeka empapula ze n'ateekayo. Omusajja eyamukozesa interview atugambye nti yamutunuulira endabika ye n'empapula ze nga tebikwatagana, era n'amugamba nti okikakasa omulimu guno gw'okola, kubanga yamugamba nti munnange nyambadde bwe nti olw'omulimu gwenkola kati. N'amubuuza okola mulimu ki? N'amugamba nsiimuula nkuuta ttooyi. N'amugamba nina okujja ndabe gy'okolera. Era omusajja oli eyali ayagala omuwa omulimu n'agenda Michael gye yali akolera ebiseera ebyo ng'asiimuula. Enkeera olwo n'amusanga nga Michael ali mu ngoye ze ezisiimuula. Era ebigambo bino bye yamugamba gwe munnaffe abadde tawulidde. N'amugamba nti bw'oba osobola okuba n'empapula zo n'obuyigirize buno naye ng'osobola okukola omulimu guno, kitegeeza yeggwe muntu gwe nnoonya. N'olwekyo tuyige ng'abavubuka nti tetunyooma mirimu. Awo wennyini w'onyooma ate omukisa omulala we guyinza okuva. Tuwummulamu tukomawo tuvaawo.
You're watching Be Hopeful. We'll be right back after the break. Bethany TV for health. Ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to introduce Bethany Santa Omugabi, who will be sharing wonderful goodies with you this Christmas season. Getting a chance to meet Bethany Santa Omugabi is easy. Just tune into Bethany TV and get to know our various programs and talented presenters. Bethany Santa Omugabi will make surprise appearances during our live programs and offer Christmas hampers filled with an assortment of goodies, including healthy food items. When you spot Bethany Santa Omugabi during any of our programs, be the first to call in and say, "Hello, Bethany Santa Omugabi. I am your Christmas date." He will then ask you a simple question about our programs and presenters. If you answer correctly, you instantly win a mega Christmas hamper. But that's not all. You can also respond on social media. The first 20 people to respond to each question on social media will be entered into a draw. And lucky winners will be picked and announced during Bethany Santa Live on Saturdays. Bethany Santa Omugabi, only on Bethany TV for health.
Child health and well-being the foundation for a bright and promising future. Join us for exciting episodes aimed at optimizing our children's physical, mental, and emotional health with our team of experts, including pediatricians, nutritionists, and child psychologists, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Bethany TV.
Bethany TV, for health. Yo TV Super App presents the Black Friday Trolley Dash. Simply subscribe to any of the bundles. When you subscribe for a month, you have 20 chances in the draw. For a week subscription, you get 7 chances. And for a day, you get 1 chance. The winner will be getting 200,000 shillings worth of shopping at Mega Standard Supermarket throughout November. The Black Friday Trolley Dash, proudly brought to you by Mega Standard Supermarket, Yo TV, and Bethany TV for health.
Kyesirabira ku lunaku lwa Christmas, olunaku lwe twatambula ekiro nga tugenza okucakala, bwe kiri nti ennaku ezo abazadde batuwa ebbeetu okugenda okuba nga tunyumirwamu ne bannaffe. Lunaku lumu twagenda naye essaawa we zaawera 3 ez'ekiro okukomawo ewaka kaali kadde kazibu nnyo, birasanga bizo byakulojja nga twanyiriza okusanyukirako awamu ku lunaku lwa Christmas olw'omwaka guno 2023. Tukubiriza okubeera n'okwagala, okusanyuka n'okwagaliza abalala. Nze Ayomi Benedicto akulira ekitongole ky'amawulire wano ku Bethany TV. Nkwagaliza ku lunaku olulungi n'omwaka omupya ogwa 2024 gubeere gwa mirembe. Suubira bingi betukutuusa kwano ku Bethany TV omuli amawulire ne programu zaffe ennyuvu nga tukusomesa, okusanyusa n'okuteekateeka obeere mulabu bulungi.
Bethany TV for health. And now, more with Be Hopeful.
Weewaawo mubale nnyo okubanga mukyekulidde ku Bethany TV. Tuli ku program Be Hopeful, tuli n'omwami Michael Turyakira ng'atunyumiza olugendo lw'obulamu. Atubuuliddeko katono ng'akula okusoma kwe, kakati tubadde tutandise career life. Agenze afunye omulimu ogw'okusiimuula, asiimula mu pharmacy. Kakati ate omukisa gye gujjidde ne bamugamba nti jangu okole eno, naye yamuwa omulimu. Ku lunaku lwe yagenda okusooka okukola interview, yagendera mu ngoye ze ze yasiimulirangamu eri. Kati yali agenda omuwa omulimu n'amutunuulira n'atunuulira empapula n'amugaa kiki, naye ky'omukisa omulungi teyamutunuulira n'ajajinga. Ekyo nno nakyo abakozesa waliwo ekyokuyiga. Oyinza okutunuulira omuntu n'omujajinga olw'endabika ye naye nga tomanyi oba oliawo embeera gy'ayitamu mu kaseera ako yemuleetera okuba nga afaanana bw'atyo. Excuse me. So Michael,
Yes.
You start now working in this wonderful company.
Yeah.
Wakolerayo bbanga ki?
I worked there 4.5 years.
Oh!
Yeah, 4.5 years. Actually, I also started from down. By the time I was making 4 years, I was a supervisor.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Kati gye wasanga n'omukyala.
Now, when I worked, when I had worked there for 2 years, because in the second year I was earning 600,000, and to me it was a lot of money, from 90,000 to 600,000. I started thinking to myself, now you need to get someone, you need to get a helper, because now you can afford to save for dowry. So I started.
Kati nga luli wali campus ne wano ng'okyasiimula nga toyinayo girlfriend.
I didn't have enough. Nga sirina.
Okay. Kati ono sponsor simanya investor yakomawo ku ky'okukuba amayinja kubanga twakomya kusuubiza okukuba amayinja. Wamusasula n'akuleka.
I didn't pay her. But when she promised to stone me because of that, Nataka cause a taxi. I started using taxis so that she can't see me. I left borders or walking.
It was a serious case.
Yeah, she was very serious.
But did she?
I got to learn that she got a man and she got married. She actually got married to a doctor, yeah.
Okay.
It's okay.
So you meet your beautiful wife. Where did you meet?
Now, like I said, I'm saying, I had 3 ladies in mind who used to come to church and basaba nnyo nga barungi nga baagala Katonda. Naye I had a problem of choice. Ningamba kati I choose who. I choose who.
Wait a minute. You're saying you had 3. Kati 3 bajja batya?
3 were just friends. They were just friends, no? Yeah, just friends. Nga sinaba proposing.
Nayenga mikwano gyo bali around you basatu.
Nga bakwano bange nga bamanyi buli nga tuli bakwano just. Nayenga I'd never showed them any intention of marrying them. Katao, ningamba now whom would I choose? Ningamba, no, this is a very big puzzle. Now what I did, I got a piece of paper and I wrote the names, number 1, number 2, number 3. So in my quiet time, I would present them to God and I tell God, I have these 3 ladies by these names, help me choose one.
Kati nga bonna obaagala? Kubanga?
Nga bonna barungi.
Ng'oli confused?
Nga ndi confused, yeah. Ningamba kati whom would I choose? But whenever kati nasalamu every morning nga 5 a.m. kumacha
ngo presenting ayo manya
manya naye nga nsoma ekigambo kya Katonda nga I read the word, but whenever I would be reading the word of God nga mpulira the small voice telling me Doreen is my wife now, but during the day with my carnal eyes I would see the others. So when this happened quite over a number of times, this small voice pointing to Doreen, I just need this confirmation from God.
Kirabika Doreen naye yalinga asabira nnyo erinnya lye. Kati mwe bawala mmwe abatasaba amannya gammwe temugasabira. Omusajja wuno agambye yawanika amannya 3 naye nga gonna agawanika bw'ati n'agasabira. Kati gwe erinnya lye bw'oba tolisabira gwamanyi otyo Doreen.
Kati Doreen yafuuka prominent.
Ko gwe kati nsazeewo.
Naye kati now approach now to propose became another puzzle also. Remember I was from single school for all 6 years. Now I joined paramedical. Now I am supposed to propose to a lady, and this lady was a prayer warrior. And by
but
then,
she was your friend.
My friend. But you know, you would think maybe prayer warriors are close to God, so maybe they don't know this part of life. So that is also another thing. So I thought, how would I approach such a lady and propose to her? Now, nimukubira nimusaba appointment in the evening to meet her. Nagamba, yeah, it's okay, you are welcome. You'll find me. Ningenda nimu visiting her. Then she prepared tea. I took tea. Then later, she asked me what I'd come for. And now I told her the intention that I would like to move with you in the rest of the future, and we move together and do ministry together.
And was she doing ministry then?
Yeah, of course she was just like an intercessor in the church. So after telling her that proposal, she actually, I want to demonstrate. She sat like this and crossed off, looked into my eyes and told me, Mike, you are not among the sample space of any man I would want to get married to. So please look for another lady, not me. I want first of all to establish myself and also want to go for further studies. Find your level.
Wait a minute. Were you too low for her class?
I don't know. I still don't understand why she said that. But I froze.
How did you feel?
I froze. I just asked her, let's pray, and then I went back to my place and slid into the blanket and but I felt bad. I froze.
I can
easy.
Get the feeling.
Yeah, it wasn't easy.
So did you regret? I wish I told Sarah, not Doreen.
No.
Maybe this thing that is speaking in me is wrong.
I didn't regret, but I kept telling God, if this confirmation came from you, I will still go back. This will be my wife. And
so when do you do the second encounter?
After 9 months. After 9 months. After 9 months, because of course in that period, from her refusing me up to 9 months, in that period, I would see many ladies coming to me, asking me, Mike, do you have a girlfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? But I kept wondering, why are many ladies coming? Little did I know that she was sending spies to first confirm whether I have another person.
Are you serious?
So I think after confirming, then I started seeing a friendly environment.
kakitegeeza yali takutrustinga bulungi.
I think she wanted first of all to be sure, because initially I think where she grew up, I think men would leave the aunties and want to just disappear. So she didn't want to enter that kind of scenario again. So after some time I saw a friendly environment. She would ask me, Mike, pass by and take breakfast in the morning. Let's go for
Pass by where?
At her place in the morning. I take breakfast before proceeding to work. And the breakfast was like 5-star. So then she would also ask me, let's go for morning glory. Then she would ask my brother also to pass. I used to stay with my brother to pass and take breakfast. I think those were enough signs to show me that, you know, I think something is cooking down here. So that is when I said, no, I think let me go back. Then I asked her again for another appointment. This time I went. And then after eating, I told her my mind again, and then she said, yeah, actually from the first time I turned you down, I've been watching you, studying you, and I realized I'm a perfect person that I should move with. I felt so as if everything had come to an end. Yeah, I felt so much happy, excited, I cannot explain it.
Did you go back in your blanket and this time you were...
Of course, now this was a different
The legs
story.
were kicking in the air like this.
Yeah, they were kicking. This was a different story.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So when do you get married?
We got married 27th July 2013. We just made 10 years in marriage in July this year.
Interesting. How has been marriage?
I would say marriage is good when you marry a friend. And of course, when you marry a friend and you understand each other, marriage is good. But of course, I'm not saying that there are no challenges. Challenges are there. But when you're friends and you have God, you can overcome. You can overcome. But one thing, you must be trustworthy. If this lady doubts me or I doubt her, that will be the beginning point. And also finances. If there's no transparency in finances, can also bring problems.
Transparency in finances. Talk about that in marriage.
Transparency in finances. I've had most men, you know, when we were still dating, I used to, when she would ask me like some money, I would turn around and I count like this, and then I give her. But first she would be open and give me directly. So through counseling, they told me, no, Mike, that is bad. You're supposed to be open. So I learned transparency. So whatever I earn, I tell her, and whatever she earns, she tells me, and then we plan. There's nothing like this is my money, and there's nothing like that, and that has helped us to move.
Biki bwe wali osuubira ng'oyingira obufumbo oba lwaki wali oyagala okuwasa?
Nali njagala kuwasa so that I can get a companion, omukwano, the person you can talk to when you have challenges, like if you're at the place of work, knowing that when I reach home, there's someone I'm going to talk to, someone who encourage me, someone I can share heart-to-heart issues, because I realized being lonely is not the way to go. I needed someone I can move with.
Okay.
So that was one big expectation I had, and I've seen it work.
Did you meet your expectations?
Yeah.
Interesting. And do we have any children in the picture?
Yeah, we have one child, Noaman Israel. He's in P2.
Okay.
Naria Hillside.
Okay. Oh, interesting. So now, what inspires you to start writing these books?
Now, what inspired me to start writing these books, of course, initially I used not to be a reader, and I didn't want anything about reading. Actually, my wife almost fought with me because of that. I would console myself that I'm reading the Bible. Why should I go and read books? And then she would ask me, but do you think people write books write trash? And I would tell her, no. But me, I am comfortable with my Bible, be comfortable with your books. But you see, I think in this lockdown, she happened to, the first lockdown, she was called to go and work on a certain professor, do physio on him. And the professor asked her, what is your resolution this year, Doreen? And she told professor, my resolution this year is to change my mindset. Then professor told her, go and look for a book called Maximum Achievement by Brian Tracy and read it. And if you fail to get it, anyway, come back to me, I will lend it to you. She came home and told me, I went to town, looked for it, I failed to get it. So when we are almost calling professor to lend us, a friend advised us, you can download this book on PDF online. So we downloaded it, I went to print it, and the book was so huge, but I started reading it slowly by slowly. When I reached in the middle of the book, I landed on a page that was saying, if you are struggling in financial management, get yourself a book called Richest Man in Babylon by George Samuel Clayson. I read that book from cover to cover. And when I finished that book, is when I gained the momentum and the love to start reading books. I started reading, buying more books to an extent that I became too intentional, and I said I will start reading 2 books every month. As I speak now, I'm reading my 23rd book. So because of reading, I started seeing how people are writing. I developed now the passion to write, and I started writing. So in my first lockdown, I got an idea to write about marketing because I'd worked in marketing field for 7.5 years. So I wrote in those companies I used to market to doctors, drugs. So I said, let me share my marketing story with some people out there who are marketeers. So I wrote my first book called Breaking Marketing Pain last year. I finished it.
What is it about?
Breaking Marketing Pain is about the pain we go through, we marketeers in the field. Like ladies, most times they are being persuaded by people, first sleep with me, then I give you the business. So there are many challenges. How do you overcome? Like men, when you go up country, I used to go to Kigali. I'm there 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I'm not with my wife. And in Kigali, they are telling me, get a Chinyarwanda lady here, and you have Chiga one there in Uganda, and you keep sharing. But I would say no. So those are the challenges we go through as marketeers. So I thought, no, I should share this story with the marketeers out. Maybe it can help them. So I wrote that book.
So how did you overcome this anyway, being a marketeer and you're running from one place to the other, ogende eno neno ate family ogireke eno techabakosa ng'abafumbo?
Of course, yeah, as men, you know, men are taken up by sight, and whenever you look at a lady, you admire, you feel like, and of course when you're married it becomes worse, because when you're single and you're still pure, you don't feel that sexual urge. But when you get married, because you have tested, you find the urge is so much. So when I would be up country, of course the desires come, but of course how do they overcome it? I would make sure I keep engaged with my wife on WhatsApp, calling, so that we keep in touch, so that my mind is tuned. Like when I'm going to sleep, after I'm done with my work, I go in my room and I call her and we talk, how was the day, how what, and you find it's 9, 10 and we are sleeping. So that is how I overcome, by keeping close.
Keeping her closer even when she's very far.
Even when she's very far.
Okay.
And that helped me so much. And staying, of course, when you're being focused on what you want. Of course, there is one marketeer who had a wife in every district, Kasese, Mbarara, where, and when you look at him, you see his life is in tatters. And he's hardworking, but there's no change on him, no development. So it's a very big challenge.
So didn't your wife at a certain point feel like this is not good for the both of you? Actually,
she actually initiated my resigning. She so much initiated my resigning, because a point came and they wanted me to go to Kigali, to work in Kigali and stay there for good. And she said, no, this won't work. Look at our marriage. How would our marriage be?
But I was like,
we can all go together. But she said, no, being in your country is a blessing. We are going to go there, they will not be paying you so much. People will be knowing you abroad. You come back having nothing.
Abroad.
Of course, when you move outside Uganda, they say you're abroad. So she told me no. So, of course, we started praying now about resigning. So time came, I put my resignation and she escorted me, because it was hard for me to leave.
So after resigning, what did you do?
Now, after resigning, I started after resigning, how I started doing my things, I would move to people who had these orthotics. Of course, I would market to the doctors. I used to market too when I had drugs. So I would tell them, now I have orthotics and this is what I did. So when a doctor would give me a client, I would run to these people, like these people whom I had explained myself. Then I tell them, give me this thing, I deliver to doctor. When they pay me, I give you yours, I get my car balance, my car difference. That is what I did actually for close to a year, and my office used to be in my car. I would sit in the car, wait for doctor's call. Then some clients would tell me, I want to see your office, where are you? Then I would say, no, I can deliver to you. Then they would say, no, I want to reach. So whoever would insist, I would take them to the friend's place.
So where would you get the clients?
The clients, the doctors. Doctors would give me clients. Because doctors see these patients and then they tell them, go and look for Michael, call this number, he will deliver it to you. So that is what I did for a year. Of course, life was tough. You can't think, when you're starting, You can't get money there and then. It is hard, but you need to be persistent, and you also need to be patient.
That is if you're starting any kind of business.
Yeah, and resilient. You see, most people start businesses expecting to get rich today. And the business takes like 5 to 7 years to be stable, and so if you begin to earn something from it. So if you're not resilient, persistent, patient, strong-hearted, don't do business.
Talk about doing business. A lot of people fear to start business because they are looking at some amount as their minimum capital. You're telling us you started with no coin.
Nothing. I started with, actually, capital is the brain. Capital is the brain.
Okay.
Capital is the brain, not money. Because if you are starting the business and I give you 10 million, you don't know how to use it, you don't have any skill, you're going to ditch it there and you come with nothing. But when you start with your brain and know how to maneuver, how to make this, tomorrow if I give you 10 million, you know how to use it. Because you have learned the dynamics of the business. Because it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve. So I would actually advise people out there, if you want to start business, please don't start with money, start with your brain. Start with your brain.
Okay. Now, how do you start from having an office, your car as your office, to now an established businessman doing this kind of things?
Of course, yeah, the company is 3 years old. I can't say it is very established. No, it is growing, steady progress.
But you finally have an office?
I have an office in town. Now I have an office in town. At least if a client is coming, they have where to sit. And now, of course, now the passion of writing has come in. And the reason why I'm writing, I'm also writing also to market my company. Whoever reads my book also
has to see your company.
Has to see, this man has a company, Israel Sotics Limited. So it's also one tool you can use to market your business when you write. If you look at people like the Bill Gates, you look at this poor dad rich man, Kiyosaki, Robert Kiyosaki, yes. Bill Gates, this Warren Buffett. Those guys have written books, but they are billionaires.
Yes,
and people buy their books and read, and they get to know their businesses, they get to know what. So it's also one way of marketing your business.
So now looking at this book, you said how to stand out in academics, career, relationships, and marriage. What exactly are you talking about in this book, academically, career-wise, relationship-wise, and marriage?
Academically in this book, actually, I'm talking about standing out. When you're in academics, you've got to stand out, especially when you're in school, there are a lot of activities. Like a case in point, when I was in school, I used to be a health prefect, and this, in some way it affected my academic performance because I failed to strike a balance. So what I'm talking here about academics, when you're in school, try to stand out by making sure you strike the balance between academics and whatever you are doing, so that you outshine in whatever you are doing. You keep outshining. So, of course, in academics, you've got to shine by joining discussion groups. You've got to shine by making sure you read, you join discussion groups, you engage people, and make sure you perform well. Because when you don't perform well, then you won't make it. But also in academics, as we study, we must see what I'm studying, how can I use it practically to survive in the world? That is why I love the business course. When I joined the business course, I realized whatever we are studying there, I can use it here. And actually I majored in marketing management. It's what I'm doing today. Yeah, so in academics, stand out by making sure that what you're studying, you can apply it out. Otherwise it will be useless and you'll be wasting time.
Exactly.
That's academic.
Career-wise?
Career-wise, when you get a career or a job, and you reach there, make sure, we have a tendency of joining jobs, or you've gotten a job and you're not creative, you want everything. I will give an example. When I joined the surgery firm, they gave me a drug to market in ICU, intensive care unit. This drug was a German drug and it was supposed to be administered through the peripheral vein. I didn't have any training about that product, but they told me, Mike, start marketing. They had no literature. So what I did was to Google and read about the book and try to get a reference, like a literature to use. And I would use that literature to market. And I made a lot of sales in that product because I became very creative. So when you're in career, make sure you aim high and keep growing. Read, Go for trainings so that you grow your career, so that you become useful in the company. So I remember even I advocated for training in Nairobi, and they took me for 1 week to get training on this drug, and I became an expert in that drug. Up to now, some doctors call me for that drug, and I advise them to go to surgical. So we have a tendency, when we get a job, we tend to relax and feel that that is the end, and we don't want to add on, we don't want to grow, we don't want to be useful, and that's not good.
Yes.
So make sure you also stand out in career-wise.
Interesting. Relationship-wise?
Now, relationship-wise, today, when I'm talking with the youth say, I can't stay pure when I'm dating. And I tell them why. And they say, no, but you can burn. And I give them my example. I dated for 2 years with my wife, and I stayed pure. Because purity is one key in a relationship. If I'm pure and faithful when we are dating, even in marriage I will be pure. Because what you do, you know, the Bible says, if you're faithful with little, you'll be faithful with much. If I'm faithful with you in a relationship, then I'll also be faithful with you in marriage. So purity is key. Another thing in relationship, we have the 5 love languages. You've heard about them.
Yes.
There is touch. You should know your spouse. What is the love language of your spouse? Love language means what can you make so that your spouse's love tank becomes full. Like for my wife's case, it is touch and quality time. And so is mine. Others have acts of services. Others have communication. Others have quality life gifts.
Affirmation.
Yeah, words of affirmation. All those are there. But of course, in relationship, you should make sure you also start counseling. Most people are wedding without counseling, and that is terrible. For us, we got counseling for 6 months, and the counselor told us we needed a year.
Because these people have been dating and enjoying themselves for 4, 3, 2 years, and they're like, if we have been here for 2 years, we can be here forever.
But they don't
feel like counseling is really
But there's a lot in counseling. Conflict resolution, finances. How do you handle maybe like challenges in marriage? You find maybe a man is not like now. How do you handle a woman? Like a woman is in periods or she has given birth. How do you handle that?
As a man.
As a man, are you going to go out and move on with other ladies and you are not patient? You see, how do you prepare a lady? Like if you want to have sex with her, do you just come and bump? No, that's not the way.
Oh, okay.
But people, you know, you can be in marriage and you have never enjoyed sex, but you have been married for years. That means people don't know how to prepare. So all those things are taught in counseling. So I would actually advocate for counseling. Whoever is in a relationship and you want to be married, please go for counseling. And you must have enough time in counseling.
What do you call enough time?
Enough time, at least 6 months. At least 6 months, at least. Not 1 week, or 2 weeks, or 1 month, no. At least 6 months.
Interesting. So what are you telling us about marriage in this book?
About marriage in this book, I'm talking about standing out in marriage in this aspect. As spouses, how do you treat each other? Do you respect each other? Especially when the children are there and maybe your spouse wrongs you. Do you shout at your spouse when you're in front of your children? Even if the dad is bad, don't shout at your husband in front of a child, because the child is innocent and the child loves both parents. Another thing, remaining together. You found spouses are in marriage, after some years the man is getting a wife outside. When you get a wife outside, you're going to divide the time, the attention, everything, and it's going to ruin your family. And because of that, you are also paining what? Your generation. The children are getting pain because of that. Children love to see parents together, and actually in the minds of children, there's no parent going to work. Children want to see parents together. The reason why I went for self-employment is to have a time for my children, for my child. I go to pick him, and he comes telling me stories. And my wife also this year decided also to resign. She also started her physio work, so that we can now have time together, have breakfast together, have time with our children together. Today, parents all wake up in the morning and go to work early in the morning and come back late and leave children in the hands of house helps.
Please let us go for a short break, and when we return, we are coming straight to that point, because it is becoming a big problem, and marriages are breaking because the couples don't have time for themselves and their children. Parenting also is becoming an issue, because The children are not seeing their parents.
Yeah.
The mother will leave the baby when she's sleeping. She will return when the baby is sleeping.
Yeah.
Tugenda kumulamu naye tovaawo tukyali ku Be Hopeful tuline Michael tukomawo.
You're watching Be Hopeful. We'll be right back after the break. Bethany TV for Health. Introducing Bethany TV, the pioneer health and wellness channel in Uganda and Africa, having a profound commitment to health and wellness. Our content takes various forms, from music and series to documentaries, talk shows, news, features, movies, cartoons, and reality shows. We are a hybrid station available on free-to-air and pay platforms, embracing the digital age as we maintain a strong online presence through our website, social media platforms, and mobile apps. Explore our rich and diverse content, engage with us on social media, and be a part of the positive change we aim to bring to the health and wellness landscape. Bethany TV for Health. YoTV Super App presents the Black Friday Trolley Dash. Simply subscribe to any of the bundles. When you subscribe for a month, you have 20 chances in the draw. For a week subscription, you get 7 chances. And for a day, you get 1 chance. The winner will be getting 200,000 shillings worth of shopping at Mega Standard Supermarket throughout November. The Black Friday Trolley Dash, proudly brought to you by Mega Standard Supermarket, YoTV, and Bethany TV for Health.
Child health and well-being, the foundation for a bright and promising future. Join us for exciting episodes aimed at optimizing our children's physical, mental, and emotional health with our team of experts, including pediatricians, nutritionists, and child psychologists, every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on Bethany TV.
Bethany TV for Health. Wake up to a healthy start every morning, burning those calories. Every Friday and Saturday morning, 5:30 a.m. with RCMA. It's the Body Hit here on Bethany TV for Health.
Even in rain time, it is not an excuse.
Health Minute on Bethany TV.
Germs can spread from person to person or from surfaces to people. Washing hands can keep you healthy and prevent the spread of germs, as well as protect vulnerable populations who are more susceptible to infections, such as young children and the elderly.
The purpose of hand washing is to clean hands, to remove dirt, minimize microorganisms, and also to prevent crossover of infections from one person to another.
When can you wash your hands?
Washing hands depends on your setting. If you're in a hospital setting, you should always wash your hands before and after touching the patient. Preparing equipments to work on the patient, you should wash hands before. In a home setting, you should wash hands before eating.
To properly wash your hands, wet them with clean running water. Apply soap and lather for at least 20 seconds, making sure to scrub all surfaces of your hands, including between your fingers and under your nails. Rinse your hands thoroughly with running water and dry them with a clean towel or air dryer. If you are unable to wash your hands with soap and water, use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol.
Better healthcare for a better tomorrow. That was the Health Minute.
Bethany TV for Health. And now, more with Be Hopeful.
Otyo tukomyewo nate mu program Be Hopeful tuli ne omwami Michael nga tunyumiza olugero lw'obulamu bwe ebintu byayiseemu ebyamusikiriza okuba nga awandiika obutabo. Michael ono wetugendedde mu kuwummula abadde excuse me, abadde atubuuliddeko awo nga amaze okuwasa baasalawo ye ne mukyala we ebyokukozesebwa babiveeko basobole okuba nga bafuna obudde obubamala bo nga abafumba ababiri n'omwana waabwe. Kati wetuwunzikidde mbadde ngamba nti obuzibu bwe tulina ennaku zino abazadde bakola nnyo, si kibi okukola naye kirabika ate abazadde bakola nnyo ate ne beerabira okuwa abaana obudde oba n'aba na omwami wo bw'oba oli mukyala omwami n'otamuwa budde bumala oba omwami n'otawa mukyala budde bumala kwegamba abafumbo ne balemerera okubalansinga so nekibaleetera okuba nga wabeerawo obutabanguko mu maka n'okuba nti abaana oluusi babacyankalanako ne bakula nga tebamanyi nnyo bazadde baabwe kuba nga temuli close ate n'abafumbo ababiri bwemuba nga temulina nnyo obudde bubamala nga mmwe nakyo kibaleetera okubeerawo gaapu awo. Kakati ekintu kino kitera otutandika emabega ddala okusinziira ku katabo ka Michael kano ebintu bino ebimu bitandika eno mu dating oba mu courtship nga muli mu courtship awo ng'omaze okusuubiza muno nti nja kuwasa n'omuwala nakkiriza nti nja kufumbirwa kati ebintu ebimu bitandikira awo. Wano mu katabo ka Michael agamba nti ku mutwe ogwa communication oba empuliziganya yagamba nti ebiseera bwe baali nga mu courtship tewaaliwo bino bye tulina ennaku zino nti osubscribinga n'ofuna free minutes byali byakuba direct airtime naye Michael ng'ateekako airtime we ow'enkumi-ttaano ebiseera ebyo ye zaali nnyingi kuba musajja yali takola nga talina kasente naye ng'ateekako enkumi-ttaano n'ayogera ne girlfriend we ba fiance. I think by then she was a fiance.
Yeah,
enkumi-ttaano n'azoogerera ne ziggwako ate n'omuwala naye n'ateekako ne bakuba. Kati kyenjagala okubuuza Michael baanyumyanga biki ebyo bye mwanyumyanga ebitaggwa 5,000 ne ziggwako. You know these days people think this is just for just. I mean, you're dating someone, but they can't even have 5 minutes to talk to you. They're too busy. Oli akukubirako katono dakiika emu, oh sorry, I'll call you later, I'm busy. Naye tannaba nakuwasa oba kufumbirwa. Omuntu omuweereza message n'agiddamu akawungeezi. Mwayogeranga biki mmwe? Abantu bano beetaaga bayige. Maybe these people are like, I talk for hours? What are we talking about? What causes even a couple to talk for long?
You know, like the way we have blood in the body and blood moves.
Yeah.
When blood is moving, we have life. So is communication in relationship.
Oh, yeah.
When there is communication in relationship moves on very well. And the communication, what does communication mean in relationship? You talk your mind, you talk everything. Like
anything.
Like my wife would call me and tell me, hey, honey, what have you eaten? Have you had lunch? Yes, I've had lunch. What have you eaten? She wants me to give her matoke, beans, cassava, what?
Even greens.
And even greens. And that is relationship. You be true to yourself and you talk anything that comes to you. And that bonds you. That bonds you. And there's nothing actually you talk. You are talking things which are out, which are what you are like babies. Like babies. But that makes life move on well in a relationship.
And it actually grows the bond.
It grows the bond. There's actually, like you have said, I would put 5,000, I talk, it gets finished. She also loads 5,000, she talks, it gets finished. And what would be talking? Like one day I went to cut my hair, then I told her, honey, I've cut my hair. Then she would say, I can't imagine how you look. I would want to look at you. I can't wait. That is the thing we talk. We are talking, but that is relationship. That's communication. That's communication. Because if you say, no, I don't have time for that, or you're just a black and white man. Yeah. How are you? How was your day? I was fine. Full stop. So what about the day? How did the day go? We wanted the details. Actually, communication in relationship means give the detail dot to dot up to the end. And that makes you bond together. That makes your spouse feel, wow, I think this person is mine. Yeah, because if you don't do it right now in a relationship, then in marriage it will be hard. It will be hard because remember, marriage, you have responsibilities, children, you have to work, you have to do this. It will be hard for you. But,
and actually it is good to get to know each other, to get to know how you feel, because sometimes you can talk to someone for a longer period of time and you get to know they are not okay.
Yeah.
Maybe they are not happy with you. And then you take enough time to maybe to resolve issues.
Yeah.
And so forth. Now, after marriage, that is a big problem. If two people have not been having this good communication, can they still make it?
It is very hard. It is very hard because I've seen there's a couple I met and they told me, my husband doesn't talk to me. He just comes, he greets, he goes to sleep. The following day he goes, I don't know what's happening. Or why you got someone else? I don't understand.
Wow.
And you find there's no life. There's no life at home. So it is very hard to make it in marriage if you have not started. That's why we have courtship and relationship.
Yeah.
That is like a preschool. We have to learn everything from there. Because when we succeed there, then marriage becomes okay. So we must make sure we communicate, we talk. We don't limit anything. Talk, understand, because like you have said, if we don't have enough time, I will not understand you. You will not understand me. There are some things I will be hiding. And you know, in a relationship, you keep unveiling, removing one secret which is there. You remove one. You can't just pour out in the first place.
Yeah.
No, it keeps coming out as you keep meeting, Because I remember even me, with my wife, there are things which we kept unveiling with time. Because you keep trusting this person, the more as you unveil.
Okay.
So we need time to communicate.
You talked of you resigning and your wife just to take care of your child and have time together. Freedom time together. Now, we have couples that work from 8 to 5 or even 6 or even 8. There are people who are not even employed, like they are self-employed. But they are doing business and it requires them to be there very early and leave late, maybe like at 9 or 10. They will close their shops at 10. So the wife works in the east, the husband works in the west. I'm giving an example. In Kampala, of course, but they take different routes. So by the time they get back home, bona bakoye. Kati abo bo tubakoze batya. Tubakoze tutya. How should they have time together?
You see, now when you are self-employed, first of all, you are not under anyone's control. It is you managing yourself. So I would suggest, the suggestion I would give such people is to see in their schedule and create time and say, no, I think I will be going to work at this time. I stop at. It's you to manage yourself. But there are some people who are workaholics, who believe in too much work. Actually, when you start a business means making money when I'm not there. That's a business. Those people who are still working and they are still self-employed. They haven't started a business.
Self-employed in their own companies.
They are still in S quadrant. We have E quadrant employee, then we have S quadrant where you become self-employed like the way I am now. Then there is B quadrant. B quadrant is where money, people are working for me. I have employees, they're making money for me. When I wake up and I feel I don't want to leave home, I stay home. And that is where, those are the businesses, that is where we find the Ibitatures, the what. So even those people who don't have time, they are still self-employed and they should aim high to make sure they reach in the B quadrant, business quadrant. That is when they can now start having freedom. Freedom of finances, freedom of time, freedom with their family. When they reach that level B. Now that's another topic altogether now. That is another topic because I read Robert Kiyosaki's books about those quadrants, I know. Then the last quadrant is I quadrant, investor like Mukwano. Their money is working itself for you.
So what is you talked of having 2 years in courtship with your wife. Did you intend, or it was because there was no money, so you waited for 2 years preparing yourself?
Ideally, you see, the 2 years or 1.5 years is, to me, I think that's the ideal time, because initially she was in paramedical, I was also in paramedical school, but doing a different course, also with a different course. That is if you have been friends. And now you tell her your intention of marrying her, you can date 1.5, 2 years. But if you have not been friends, you can extend more time to 3, 4 years, because if she has been a stranger and you have been a stranger, you need more time to know each other. But if you've been friends, ideally 1.5 years, 2 years is enough.
Do you think dating for a longer period of time will help these two get to know each other that much?
It can help on the other side of the coin, but again, on the other side of the coin, it can end up not working out. Why? Because when you keep a lot of time, like for those who are Christians, you might end up not being pure, compromising, because you have also extended time. Remember, you have the body, and the body has never been saved. So when you extend so much time, you end up misbehaving and messing up. The other side of the coin is, if we date for so long, you never know. Maybe if I loved you when you're a poor boy, but because you have good character, I can be with you. But because of too much time, another fellow can come in who is rich and good and take you, because you try to extend your time. So it's not good to take that too much time, to me.
Nekirala olowooza abantu bwe balwawo nnyo nga bakyali mu courtship, olowooza omuntu omu tasobola kweka mizeege oba mpisa ze, and we date for those 2 years but you don't get to know me fully, like someone will do everything to hide their real character.
You know, it is, you know, if, the Bible says we shall know them by their fruit. There's a scripture in the book of Matthew. It talks about the wheat and the weed. They talks about the wheat and the weed, and they were trying, one person wanted to go and harvest all of them. You know, wheat and weed resemble.
Yeah.
When they were still young, and the master told them, no, wait, give them time, let them grow. When they grow up, we can easily identify wheat and the weed, and we can harvest them, and the other one will destroy it. So even with the character, if we give it time, it will come out. It will not hide for long. I cannot pretend to be good. At least if we are stayed together, you hear me shouting, you hear me doing something. I can't pretend for long. It's very hard. It's very hard. Actually, courtship is there. That time is there to learn someone, because I have an example. A lady accepted the boy because the boy was a son of a clergy. So as time went on, the lady thought maybe this boy is also well behaved, God fearing. So as time went on, when they went to the beach, he found the boy drinking alcohol. Immediately, he had to exit the relationship, to exit the relationship, because she gave it some time. So you cannot hide the character. You can't hide the character. It's very hard.
Interesting. So you talked about finances in marriage, financial management in marriage, in marriage. Now, this is also a big issue in marriages. Actually, many marriages have broken because of that lack of transparency. Especially, I'm speaking for the women, especially with men. It is on a rare case that you find omukazi ayinayo kale babikola abamu nabeerayo n'akasente ke katayagala omusajja amanye. But one thing I like about women, even when she has that that kasente, when things don't work out,
you can pull it.
She'll pull out. But you gentlemen, most of you, mubeereeyo ne mubeera n'obwakawunti bwammwe oluusi ne developinga ne properties naye nga muzikola ne family members, your friends, and your wife doesn't get to know about this.
I would say that is not right. If you truly love your wife, your children, I wouldn't suggest that you do that kind of thing of hiding the property, the land. It's not good. That is if you truly love your children and your wife. It's not proper. It's not proper. Hiding. Because hiding, you see now, as a man like now, if I start to hide the Kamana side, that Kamana side, because I know my wife doesn't know it, it will tempt me even to get another side dish. Do you know that? Because now I know I have the freedom. She doesn't know this money, so I can now use it. But when I disclose to her and tell her, by the way, I got 1 million yesterday from so-and-so, even if I don't bring it here on table, she already knows, so I am now accountable. She will ask me about it. So it will also enable me to keep walking straight. So hiding now our properties, hiding what, it's not, that means you don't love your family.
A man will tell you, I am the head of the family, so I have to plan ahead. Sometimes I need to surprise my wife with a few things. So probably that is why he's having that secret account. How do you say about that?
Secret account. Secret account. Ideally, I don't advocate for that. I don't advocate for that. But anyway, it depends also on the background. how are you? If you're not a good person in your background, it is normal. But those who have that church background and what, it's not right. It's not right. Of course, the surprises you can get the money. You can now decide with your wife and say, maybe let's give a third of this money for. You get to Assad, also get Assad just for what, in case any emergency comes in, and then you use that for a surprise.
You know, in Africa, we do not have that culture. We're just learning these things of a husband or a man coming at home and, you know, you unveil your financial status and you tell your wife, I made a deal, I got 200 million here. It is not in African men.
Yeah, it's not.
But what is the advantage anyway of doing this, being transparent financially?
Yeah, being transparent increases trust. It increases trust between the two of you, and of course also the development increases. Things move. It's also like communication. The way I told you about. There's why I will feel when you disclose everything to me. I will feel you love me more. And even if I disclose to you everything, you feel you feel I love you more. And that bond, it also increases the bond and
trust.
And trust.
Okay, interesting. Let's go for another short break, and we are returning with our last segment. Weewaawo tuli ne omukulu Michael Turyakira nga tubulidde ekyamuviirako okuwandiika akatabo kano ke tuli mu kusomako olwaleero. Tubadde tumenyako ebimu ku ebyo bye yawandiika mu katabo kano, ebisinga bikwata ku byanjigiriza, eby'emirimu, career, ne relationships wamu ne marriage. Weewaawo tugenda kuwummula naye tovaawo tukomawo.
You're watching Be Hopeful. We'll be right back after the break. Bethany TV for health. Ladies and gentlemen, we are thrilled to introduce Bethany Santa Omugabi, who will be sharing wonderful goodies with you this Christmas season. Getting a chance to meet Bethany Santa Omugabi is easy. Just tune into Bethany TV and get to know our various programs and talented presenters. Bethany Santa Omugabi will make surprise appearances during our live programs and offer Christmas hampers filled with an assortment of goodies, including healthy food items. When you spot Bethany Santa Omugabi during any of our programs, be the first to call in and say, "Hello, Bethany Santa Omugabi. I am your Christmas date." He will then ask you a simple question about our programs and presenters. If you answer correctly, you instantly win a mega Christmas hamper. But that's not all. You can also respond on social media. The first 20 people to respond to each question on social media will be entered into a draw. And lucky winners will be picked and announced during Bethany Santa Live on Saturdays. Bethany Santa Omugabi, only on Bethany TV for health. Are you looking for a platform to advertise your business and boost your sales? Bethany TV got you covered. Take advantage of our introductory rates and maximize your leverage for brand awareness, advertising, product launching, live coverages, activations, and so much more. For booking and more information, contact our sales team on 0785 576 269. Bethany TV for health.
Ngira wano kisintale so mbali nsaba kubuuzaako nze funyo ngenda emanju kufuka musolo gujja kumukumu kireetwa ki fukera kumukumu niweefukera.
When we talk about urinary frequency in males, we can broadly divide the causes in two ways depending on the age group affected. So usually in younger males, the commonest causes have to do with infections, either STIs or UTIs. STIs being sexually transmitted infections, and UTIs being urinary tract infections. Those that affect the urinary tract all the way from the kidneys into the bladder and the urethra. So in young people, it's mostly infections. In older people, the commonest cause is benign prostatic hypertension, BPH, which is an enlarged prostate. So usually in older people, that is above 45, you have incomplete voiding, and that causes urinary frequency. In both cases, the smartest thing to do is go to a hospital where you can be reviewed by a doctor, and they'll give you the appropriate treatment depending on the cause. Thank you.
Bethany TV, for help. And now, more with Be Hopeful.
Tuli mu kitundu ekisembayo ekya programu eno Be Hopeful wano ku Bethany TV. Nze Winnie tuli ne Michael nga tunyumiza olugero lw'obulamu bwe. Gwe munaffe alaba Bethany TV teweerabira, tukuleetedde ebirabo bya Ssekukkulu mu promotion yaffe gye tuyise Bethany Santa Omugabi. Ky'olina okukola okwewangulira ebirabo bino, kujjukiza nti ebirabo bya bwereere, tolina kusasula. Ky'olina okukola, sigala ng'olaba Bethany TV. Santa ajja kubajja mu programu zaffe ez'enjawulo nga tuli live ku show zonna z'omanyi eza Bethany TV eziri live, ajja kubajja mu studio. Era bw'onoomulaba ng'azze, gwe ky'olina okukola, kwata essimu yo okuba ennamba ezo eziba wansi awo wansi wa TV, ogambe hello Santa, I am your date. Santa ajja kubakubuuza ekibuuzo kasita okitta ng'owangula ekirabo obettu mbagirawo. Mu birabo bino mulimu ebintu bingi nnyo, omuli ebyokulya n'ebyokunywa n'ebintu ebirala bingi. Ate gwe ali ku social media tulabira ku Facebook oba YouTube, tofaayo. Naawe tulina ekikyo. Kati gwe ky'olina okukola, mukadde ako kasita olaba Santa ng'azze, kasita abuuza ekibuuzo ky'abuuzizza, teekawo ansayo. Abawanguzi abiri abasooka bagenda kubanga bayingira mu kazannyo oba lucky draw. Ku lw'omukaaga tulina Santa live, naawe obenga weewangulira. Teweerabira, sigala ku Bethany TV obeere ng'olaba programu zaffe ez'enjawulo. Kaakati tukomyewo ne Michael. Michael, watugambye nti waddayo n'osoma business course. Kiki ate ekyakuleetera okuva ku bya the medical course that you had done ate ogenda osoma business?
Kati, when I was a marketeer, nkola marketing, I got the passion now for business, because marketing the drugs to the doctors was basically business. Okay. It was basically business. So a thought came in me that no, why don't you go and major in marketing? You do a business course, but major in marketing. That is when I resolved, and I said no, let me go. And I went to St. Lawrence University because it is very good in business and entrepreneurship. So I went to that university, and the very interesting thing is, from the first year up to third year, they would ask us, the lecturers would ask us, how many of you here are employed? And we'd all put our hands up.
All of you? All
of us. And then the lecturer would say, oh, sorry, I would actually advise you to start your companies from first year to third year. So by the time I was in third year, I think I said, no, this is enough. I need to start my own things. I started juggling out my own things. But a business course is the way of life. The way of life, like when you hear prices are rising, oh, that is business. How to talk to a customer, how to welcome a customer, how to maintain a customer, oh, that is business. And we can't learn that in medical. In medical, we can't. In medical, they teach you anatomy. The way anatomy used to be 1,000 years ago is the way anatomy is today. But in business, things change. Things keep changing. Today, the dollar is high. Tomorrow, the dollar will be low. Today, so things keep changing. So business is a way of life, and I actually enjoyed business. Business changed my attitude so much, and the way I see things, the way I do things. That is why even I'm writing, because the mindset changed because of the business.
So is that why you picked the interest of now starting your own business?
Yes, that is why I picked the interest of starting my own thing, and I got that business, that business idea of starting the Israel Sotics Limited.
So how did the idea come up? How do you, because it is one thing to go and do a business course, and then you come out when you're a doctor, but you also have a pharmacy, let's say, or a salon or something else. or a bookshop. So why these materials that you're selling? Why did you decide to venture into that?
Thank you for that question. That's a good question. Actually, yeah, my wife actually wanted me to start a pharmacy, just like you have said. But you see, as I thought through, I saw she was a physiotherapist, and she used to use these things. And I found in town there were very few people who had orthotics, who had those things. Most people have pharmacy. Everywhere you go, pharmacy. I said no. I think I should venture in this area. And I shared with her. She said, it's okay. So I shared with her, and then she accepted, and I ventured into that area because I knew, first of all, she studied those things from A to Z. Me, I can read and get to them. I know the marketing. I can market anything. If I manage the drug of ICU, can I fail anything? So that is when of course, we prayed over the name and said, let's name it in our son's name, Israel. Limited.
That's where the Israel name comes from.
Yeah, that's where the Israel name comes from.
Okay.
So we started it, and of course I would market, get sales here and here, then read, and then that's how the company started.
Okay. So you said you now have an office.
Yes.
So for one to get these things, they come to your office?
Yeah, they come to my office.
How about the books? Where are your books sold?
The books right now, like the Gold Mine of Potential, the Gold Mine of Potential was launched on Saturday last week.
Okay.
Right now, you can call my number in case you want a copy of this book, and the copy goes for 40,000. You can call my number and we can deliver it to you. I have a border guy who can deliver it to you. If you're up country, we can put it on the bus and it reaches you.
Okay.
Yeah. So my numbers are MTN 0774 946724. And the Airtel one is 0759 369 159.
Okay. So have you written any books before, apart from this? What was your first book?
My first book was Breaking Marketing Pain. Yeah, that was my first book, and this is my second book.
Okay.
Yes, The Gold Mine of Potential. Yeah.
So what did you say we should expect in the other book? You're talking about challenges marketeer goes
in the Breaking Marketing Pain, I basically disclosed the challenges marketeers go through.
But did you also talk about the good things, the fruits?
Yeah, of course, the fruits are also there, because the selling is also another job that gives money.
It is the best selling job.
But again, the hardest.
Very hard, trust me.
Very hard.
Very hard.
Very hard. And you cannot succeed if you are not a marketeer or a seller. Even to propose to a red and winner, you are selling and marketing yourself. So it's a core of everything. Yeah.
But I believe if you're doing any kind of business,
you must market.
You must have the marketing and the selling,
knowledge,
because there's no way you're going to be successful if you cannot market or sell.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. It was a great opportunity having you here, and thank you for my book. So for my viewers, if you want a copy from me, look for me. Jabba wako musomeko naye kibi abamu temuzza butabo bwange olaliro kambalangire. But yes, I'll go through this book, and I've been reading, and a few things that are really interesting. So your wife and yourself are now doing business together.
Yes.
Kati mukola kintu kyammwe kya family.
Kya family naye for her she's dealing in physio mobile clinic. Asanga agenda abalwadde n'abasanga waka
n'abakolerako eyo
waka.
Kati gwe omwami n'obaguza ebintu nga muli strategic. Nange oba producer wange awulidde naye ajja kuyiga, ajja kufuna ku magezi. Yeah. So, and how is it working with your wife? Manyi bino ebintu by'okuba nti nno okola business naye ate okola ne mukyalawo nakyo kirina challenges. How has it been with you?
For me, I find it like having fun. I find it makes us bond more. At the end of the day, we are like, oh, well, you got me a client. Thank you, because I sold. And after getting me a client, I get money.
You also get her client.
Yeah, I also get her client. So it is a two-way. So it's fun. It's fun.
But I think it starts from the transparency.
The transparency, the transparency.
Transparency is very key.
And also, of course, with business, what I've learned, if you are not honest, also you lose clients. If you're a man who twists words, you are saying this, you are doing this. You tell a client, I'm going to deliver it at 11, you are reaching at 3 in the evening. you'll not make it. You'll not make it. If I was like that, I wouldn't be trusted by these people who are helping me with the items, like who would help me take, then after that bring the money, then I move my difference. So you must be honest, you must be transparent.
Interesting. Your closing remarks, I would love that to go to a young man or woman that has just completed their education or university, whatever level it is, yamaze okusoma kati ali ku street n'empapula ze anoonya mulimu, beerako ky'omugamba.
Yeah, katoyo. What I can tell that person who is done with school and is on street, I would tell that person to be open-minded. Be open-minded, and whatever you get, start with that. But still also be very, very conscious, because you are in need, you can easily land into people who will take you, take advantage of you because you need money.
Yeah.
And you end up in the wrong schemes, in the wrong what, and you're taken, oh, sugar mummies or sugar daddies. And you're wasted because you're hungry for money. So be conscious, be open-minded, whatever you get, do it. But also read books, because books change our mindset. You can get an idea from a book and you start from that. And because I told you capital is your brain or your mind, you start with that. But read books as you look also for what to do. But be open-minded and you'll be able to manage.
Thank you so much. Nsanyuse munango kubanga nkukyaziza nkwogeza Oluganda lwa mpaka naye. Omukyala tomutumiddeeko.
I send my greetings to my dear wife. I call her Dark Beauty Lady. Thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your support and for your love. And also to all my parents, my dear friends out there, I send greetings to you. Thank you very much for watching Bethany TV. And I thank also Bethany TV. Thank you very much for hosting me.
Amen. Thank you so much to Michael for coming. Ndowooza mubiwulidde byonna ebyo mukulu Michael byatugambye gwe munafa anoonya omulimu bw'obanga oli awo olina omulimu gw'onyooma ogamba nti ogugwala sisobola gukola. Mwana wattu ye Michael akugambye nti yatandikira mu kusiimuula tooyi na wansi awo na kusiimuula nfuufu mu dduuka oba mu pharmacy, ate we yafuna omukisa okubanga asobola okukolako mu kifo ekirala ekirungi we yava n'atandika okubanga akola ebibye. Tonyooma mulimu gwonna gw'ofunye tandika n'ogwo. Naye n'ekisinga obukulu mwe bannaffe abadeetinga atugambye nti ekigambo purity kikulu nnyo. Oli awo tulimuzza n'ayongera okutunnyonnyola kikitegeeza mugaso ki oguli mu kuba nti musobola okubeerawo ebbanga ddene nga mweyagala naye nga mwesuubiza okwewasa naye ne mubeerako we mukoma ne mutagenda mu biri ebijja okubatawaanya mu maaso eyo. Be Hopeful Show bwetyo bwetambudde olunaku olwaleero naye teweerabira nkujjukiza nga sinnakusibula gwalaba Bethany TV nti tulina ebirabo bya Christmas bye tukutegekedde ettu lya Ssekukkulu. Gwalaba Bethany tugenda kuba tukubuuza ebibuuzo ebikwata ku ba presenter ne shows zaffe. Kitegeeza olina okusigala ku Bethany ng'olaba mu show eziri live. Bethany Santa ajja kubajja, ajja kujja gwe kasita olaba Santa ng'azze ku stage ng'azze mu Be Hopeful what kwata essimu yo kuba ennamba y'essimu eri awo wansi ku screen omugambe hello Santa, I am your date. Kati bw'oba oli musajja simanyi ky'ogenda mugamba naye ekyo ky'olina omugamba. Santa ajja kuba ekibuuzo akikubuuza bw'oba okisse ajja kuwa ettu lya Christmas. Ali ku social media naawe genda Santa omulabira mu studio tekewo ansa y'ekibuuzo ekyo ky'abuuzizza. Bw'omaliriza gumiikiriza linda bajja kuba bakubira essimu oba ba reaching out to all of you that have commented, have put your correct answers, and you'll be called in a lucky draw every single Saturday here in studio. Webale nnyo okuba ng'otugoberera gwe wenna tulaba ku mitimbagano ali ku social media platform, YouTube ne Facebook, namwe abatugoberera ku Twitter na wonna abali ku YoTV, Afromobile and Airtel TV. Thank you so much for watching us. My name is Winnie Mbabazi. I'll see you again tomorrow, same time, same station. I love you and bye.